I'm Bambi Francisco with this segment of Lessons for Entrepreneurs, and I'm speaking with Steve Viciani. He's the CEO and founder of Power.com, his fourth startup, actually. Steve, welcome.
Thank you.
So this is your fourth startup, so you've been around the block as an entrepreneur since you were 16 years old.
Correct.
What are some of the lessons you've learned as an entrepreneur?
Sure. I think one of the biggest mistakes that many entrepreneurs make early on is they start the companies with the people that are sitting next to them, their best friend or classmate, or the person that you go to first to share your ideas. Mm-hmm. And I think that's usually not the person that you want to start your company with. There are exceptions to that. I think that being disciplined and realizing that asking advice from friends and having friends help you is different than bringing them on as your co-founder. Because
did you do that?
I've done that in an earlier company. In this company, what I did is I actually spent quite a while looking for those first 5 people are going to shape your entire company, and you have to, I think, make those decisions very carefully, and not because what happens is if you realize later that they're the wrong person, you've already divided up the company, and it's hard to bring in the right people later.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is how to avoid politics. And startups are very emotional, very passionate. Everybody is there to change the world. Mm-hmm. They believe that that they're there to believe in what they're doing. And so when you get smart people that are all passionate and there's very little structure, it's very easy for people to disagree. And many startups don't know how to disagree and also still respect each other after those disagreements. And I think there's a lot of lessons to life, friendships and relationships. And I think that being able to understand that, to manage that element of the company, because I think you see startups get divided through emotions and passion and disagreements because we have a lot of stress, and you need to be aware that is a major issue. Mm-hmm. It's not only managing your product and managing how to get the next dollar in, because if you don't take care of these things, your companies get divided and torn apart. Okay.
Now, in your experience, you just spoke earlier, you started a company in '94 called Cool.com,
yes.
Which you operated for 8 years.
I started that in 1997, actually.
Oh, yes. You started in '97.
That's correct.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
And it ceased operation. Which happens to so many entrepreneurs I have spoken with, which almost gives you the rite of passage to have the know-how and the ability to know how to build a company like Power.com. What's your experience from that?
Well, I think what entrepreneurs gain is they get a second sense, ability to make decisions that are not logical. And I think as a CEO, there's those moments when everybody is saying go one direction, and you say, you know what, I really feel that I have to go the other direction, and to be right more often than being wrong. I think that comes from the experience of falling on your face many times, and being able to trust your instincts even more so, because you don't always have the luxury of having all the answers. In fact, you never have that luxury. And also to be able to make decisions where you don't have 1 year of cash in the bank, where you have 1 month of cash in the bank, and be able to make smart decisions and be able to stay calm under that pressure. And that goes back to my last point, is that when you're under that kind of pressure, that's what often divides companies apart. And I think it's really important for people to be sensitive.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, that's why many investors that I speak to prefer to invest in a serial entrepreneur, because they're the ones who've gone through the struggles. It's not easy. It's not easy.
And this moment today is a very difficult time. And I've been through this in 2000 when the market crashed, and we had a very high velocity, high momentum company. Mm-hmm. We had to readjust and accept new realities. And I think today entrepreneurs are having to do that also.
And you're raising a Series B round, about another $6 million. What do you say to investors as they say, how are you going to operate this company when 2009 may be an incredibly down year in the economy?
Well, I think you have to be very pragmatic and realistic and a lot more humble. good companies are good companies. Maybe the value is not worth what it was worth 3 or 4 months ago, and we cannot get caught up in what it was. I think we have to just say, look, I have a great company, I have a great team. Here's a very realistic plan on how we're going to break even. You know what? The upside opportunity still exists, but I think we have to manage our own expectations and realize that investors are going to continue to invest in good companies. They're just going to provide investments based on the market conditions and the market realities of today. So I think we can't cling to the past, and we have to accept the realities of the moment.
Well, I think because you've been so disciplined, you've had that experience. I think that's going to be sort of something that's a positive.
Yes.
For your abilities to raise that money. So good luck to you, and Steve, thank you for your insights as
thank you so much.
An entrepreneur. I've been speaking to Steve Vizchani. He's the CEO and founder of Power.com. He's also a serial entrepreneur. I'm Bambi Francisco.